Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. The Canadiens get a 5-1 victory over the Detroit Red Wings to get their first win of the season, and definitely a much more complete and solid game from the Canadiens than what we saw in their opening game against the Leafs. Another game that I thought Canadiens could have been a little bit faster to start off the game. There were definitely some penalties early on that I think and kind of throughout the game that I think we could have avoided, and it would be nice to kind of just stay out of the box in general moving forward. But yeah, I think the first couple of minutes, a little bit slow. The Detroit Red Wings were able to get the first goal of the game, but then after that, the Canadiens basically just took over. I mean, I think, it goes without saying, Bolduc, I don't think anybody's regretting how that trade has gone for the Canadiens so far. So he got 2 goals today. The first one, a really nice pass from Brendan Gallagher, like a one-touch kind of just from just outside the zone. He puts it right in the middle, and Bolduc skates right into that, and he's able to finish that opportunity. So that was a really nice one to start off. And then Kapanen, these are two guys that I wasn't sure how they were going to play, especially Kapanen. I think there was debate, as we've kind of been talking about previously, about whether or not he was going to be successful this season, and clearly he's proving that he belongs in the club here. So it'll be tough for guys who are trying to fight for that roster spot to beat out Kapanen right now, because he is producing. Demidov gets his first point of the season there. He has a nice pass that finds Newhook for a 2-on-1, and then after that it's just a really easy finish for Kapanen there. So I like how those lines are playing. I think I was definitely skeptical at first, but obviously, Bolduc and Gallagher seem to have a very, an unexpected connection together. And then it looks like Demidov and Newhook Kapanen is working out pretty well. We finally saw a little bit more out of our top line today as well. Obviously, Slafkovsky gets it, the 5th goal of the game there. I think, so Mike Matheson got the 3rd one. It was a nice goal. He was able to kind of come down like right at the beginning. There was like 7 seconds left, right at the end. 7 seconds left in the period there. He was able to kind of snipe one, take it in. I thought that was nice poise actually from Matheson. Usually he's kind of just a get rid of the puck, put it on net kind of guy, but he kind of held it and waited for his chance, and he was rewarded for that. So that was nice. And Suzuki, Dobson both get their first points of the season on that goal as well. I think I was mistaken. I thought I think they originally gave the 4th goal to Bolduc, but I think it's been given to Carrier now. I'm not sure if they'll change that back, because I'm pretty sure Bolduc did get a tip on that goal, but as of almost midnight here, it looks like Carrier is the one who has that goal. Jack-Ian Gallagher has 3 points on the season. I think he's leading the Canadiens through 2 games in terms of points, which is not what you would have expected, but good for him. He's like the veteran of the team, and he's the one producing right now. So that's pretty cool to see. I thought this was another game. I thought the top line overall was much better today than they were yesterday. I thought they were kind of uncharacteristically slow, with the exception of Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky, finally gets rewarded for his good offensive play. He was able to get that power play goal. And that whole thing was just kind of set up by Slafkovsky too. He kind of got that puck off of the face-off from Suzuki, and he's able to get it back to Caulfield, takes a shot on net, and then Slav is right where he needs to be. And I think, it's really encouraging to see from the Canadiens, to see that he's, doing the right things, getting to the right areas, winning battles, getting shots on net. And he gets rewarded with his first goal of the season there. Suzuki and Caulfield get the assists. So, yeah, really, really encouraged by that. Really encouraged by this game overall, and a great win in a game that, we needed to win for sure. Defensively, I talked Dobson got his first point, but also I thought he was really solid overall. I think that's kind of what we're going to be seeing throughout the season. I don't think we're going to see Dobson be a guy who explodes offensively for us, but he really just managed the game very well for us. And that's exactly the kind of thing we need out of a guy like Dobson. That's kind of, I think, why you trade for a guy like him. He can really just manage the game for us, and he's just got that skill defensively, and that just kind of shuts down opportunities, gets us wins, and it worked out today. I think that's hopefully what we're going to see from him moving forward. I was really encouraged by by that. Matheson, for all you Matheson haters, you're gonna have to complain another day. He got his goal, and I thought he was pretty solid all the way through. Pretty much everybody was solid on D. And not too much out of Hudson today, but I think all of these rumors about Hudson's contract, and now it's like distracting his play or whatever. Like, it's, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous at this point. Like, there's so much going around, and people are just kind of posting bullshit about it. I genuinely think, knowing like who Hudson is from, just watching him over the off season, last season or whatever, like I guarantee you Hudson has pretty much nothing to do with like the contract talks or anything like that. Like I'm 100% positive that Hudson hired an agent and said, "You guys deal with this. I want to be on the ice." And I think that's exactly the kind of person he is. I don't think he's stirring up anything, or like people are saying that like the talks are getting emotional or whatever, and now he's playing distracted, and I think that might be true, like the distracted part, just because like I'm sure he wants the deal to be done so he can kind of like get that off of his like shoulders. But yeah, and I would as well. Obviously I don't want to have it go too long without signing him. And honestly, if I were Kent Hughes, I would just give him a check and be like, "Hey, what do you want? Like, we need you on this team." So I'm sure it'll get done. But yeah, I have no worries about how Hudson's going to be playing. He's going to be just fine for us, and I think that we'll be satisfied with his game. And like even when he's not on the score sheet, he's still producing well, and I have no issues with how he's playing. So and then the goal, Dobesh, I think he played really well. Obviously he let in that one power play goal, not really his fault, on the power play, whatever. But yeah, other than that, he shut the door for the rest of the game, made some really big saves when we needed him. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really great 1-2 punch, I think, between Montembeault and Dobesh. And, maybe, like, who knows, maybe even, Montembeault falls off and Dobesh becomes the number one guy. So, who knows? It's a good thing to have two really solid goaltenders working for us. So, I thought he played really solid. We're going to have a great, 1-2 punch, as I just said, going forward. I'm sure we're going to go back to Montembeault to play in Chicago on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I was really encouraged by just everybody on the team today. I was really happy with how that worked out. Yeah, so I think the other thing to look at there, like the power play, like the special teams in general, could use some work. I thought we were pretty solid on the kill, all things considered, but I think we could use a little bit of a boost on the power play. We got the one power play goal. That was our 5th goal off of Slavkovsky. I think it was like 3 or 4 seconds into that power play, but yeah, I think we could definitely do with staying out of the box a little bit, as well as actually capitalizing on our power plays when we get them. But again, that'll come with time. The other thing I was kind of interested about with this game is that Joe Veleno didn't play. I think I would have loved to have seen him be able to play against his former team, and especially considering how good he looked in the preseason. I'm kind of surprised they haven't gone to him yet, just to see how he's going to be. And I know it's only 2 games, but I thought, especially since we were playing Detroit, I thought that they might want to see how that goes, but I guess they didn't want to try that. So it'd be interesting to see when we see him. Hopefully it's not for the purpose of injury, but again, I feel like our lines are going pretty well, so I wouldn't be shocked if it stays exactly as is moving forward. But it'll be interesting to see when he comes in, and if he's as effective as he was previously when he does get in. But yeah, remains to be seen for now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. The Canadians, I will note, got only 17 shots in the entire game, scored 5 goals on those 17 shots, so outshot significantly by the Red Wings, but capitalized on their shot opportunities. You'd like to get more shots, especially when we're playing a better team who maybe won't let as many goals in, but it doesn't really matter. It could have been 5 shots and all 5 go in and we win the game. So nothing too big to complain about this one. So that's always a good thing. A short video just to quick, easy win and we move on. So it'll be interesting to see how we play against Chicago. I was actually in Chicago last year over winter when the Canadians visited there. We took the L in that one. Unfortunately, I think Heineman had a nice goal. I think when I was there, he had a guy's like bat out of the air kind of goal, and I think Caulfield scored one as well. So hopefully we can bounce back from the last time we were in Chicago. I won't be there this time, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Let's keep the wins coming. I think we want to make the playoffs. We have to be better early on than we were last year, and we're 1-1 to start, not too bad. Let's keep it going, especially against teams that are beatable teams, right? Like Chicago projected to not be at the top of the leaderboards. I think that's a game we want to win. We want to capitalize on those early games that are winnable matchups, and not waste those opportunities to get not free, but to get 2 points on the board. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think we'll probably end up seeing a very similar lineup to what we had today. So hopefully, I think looking forward, I think we should look to the top line to start kind of producing a little bit more. Obviously, they had some points today. Suzuki with 2, Cole and Slav with 1, but I would like to see, especially Cole. I want to see Cole get on the board with a goal. He started really hot goals wise last year, so I'd like to see that again from him. Obviously, biased to Badger playing for the Habs. I want him to be as successful as possible, but I think he's kind of been like overshadowed a little bit, and people kind of forget how good he is, how prolific he is at goal scoring. I want him to get that first goal and to kind of get that mojo back, and start racking up those goals. That's gonna get us some wins, and once everybody else can kind of start getting going around him, we're gonna have something here. So, but yeah, that's all for me today. Looking forward to Saturday. Hopefully we can start a little win streak going, but that remains to be seen. So that is all for me, and I will see you guys on Saturday.